What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another update for you guys today. Just a short one, a lot on Harry Kane, a little bit on Vicario, but let's start off with the big Harry Kane news. We brought you earlier today that Bayern had made an official approach for Harry Kane. Well, let's see what is going on now, as Christian Falk says that Bayern and Harry Kane have reached an agreement in principle on a transfer for this summer. The family of Kane conducted the negotiations. The prerequisite for the transfer is now an agreement with Tottenham. Bayern want to stay well below Tottenham's demanded fee of €100 million for Harry Kane. Matt Law says that Kane believes he can play at the top level until he's 40, injuries permitting, so he will still have plenty of time to pass Shearer's record if he returns to the Premier League aged 32. And Raphael Honigstein from The Athletic says that Tottenham striker Harry Kane declared his readiness to join Bayern in recent talks with manager Thomas Tuchel. They're now optimistic that a deal can be struck. Jacob Steinberg says that Harry Kane wants to join Bayern Munich after holding positive talks over personal terms with the German champions. And Ornstein and Eccleshare have come up with an update as well, and they're saying personal terms being agreed between Kane and Bayern would not be a problem, despite there being hope that Kane stays. Internally, Spurs have been planning since last year in case he were to leave. The club's recruitment team have a list of possible replacements ready to go if he does depart. Spurs have drawn up a range of options, from experienced strikers similar to Kane to much younger players. Using existing players in different similar system is part of the conversation too. For example, using Richarlison or Son as the starting striker and bring in a young talent to compete with them.
Yeah, I know. It's getting there, isn't it? The noises are not great if we are looking to keep Harry Kane and if you're desperate for him to stay. It does sound more and more like he's very willing to go there, and it's all about Bayern matching Tottenham's price. But then again, if they're going to stay well below the £100 million mark, maybe that's going to be the sticking point which Spurs won't budge on. In terms of looking internally at replacements for Kane, I do kind of think it makes sense. I think it makes more sense for Son to be more of a striker than a winger, in my opinion, at his stage of a career. Richarlison, obviously, is more comfortable probably centrally than he is in out wide, especially in this system that Ange's going to play. So I do see two number 9s being there, and then if we can invest heavily, spend the money we would have spent on Kane replacement in a really good winger who's really good at dribbling, maybe that is the way forward potentially. And also you're adding pace to the front line, which makes us more effective potentially pressing. You've got more dribbling ability there. So in terms of a full rebuild and a full reset, that's probably what it looks like. In terms of strikers on the list who would replace Harry Kane if we were to just keep Son out wide and go for a striker, I mean, strikers are hard to come by nowadays. It's going to be very difficult to replace him. Obviously, you're not getting anywhere near the quality of Kane, but even if you wanted to go for someone less quality, strikers are very expensive. Who do you reckon would be on that list?
I think you're probably looking at up-and-coming players, maybe the kid from Atalanta, Højlund. I think Osimhen will be way out of our price range. I think they want like next close to 200 million for someone like him.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to want to spend, if we get say 80 million plus add-ons, I'm assuming we're going to want to spend like something in the region of 60, 70 or something.
Yeah, I think we'll be looking at kind of like the next version, maybe the up-and-coming players like the Højlunds. I mean, there are other names out there, but I can't think of any.
Muani?
Kolo Muani could be one as well. Yeah, could be one as well. But I think there are plenty of strikers out there, but they are going to be hard to acquire, that's for sure. But I kind of agree with you. I think I've said it as well throughout the season that if Kane was to leave at the end of the year, I think it just makes sense to push Richarlison into that role. I think he could be better suited to that role as well in a Postecoglou system when you're pressing really high from the front. And I think that's where Richarlison's maybe his strengths really lie, is in his pressing game. And I think he would suit an Ange system. So if we could have Sonny and Richarlison sharing that role and bring in a top left winger, I'll be for that, to be honest.
Yeah, and as long as it's like a really good, like a Nico Williams or like even a Kudus or something like that, right? Someone who's really got high potential, really good at dribbling, like spend the money effectively, then I guess that kind of makes sense. It's still going to break my heart to see Kane leave if he does go to Bayern Munich, and I would hate to see him in Germany in the Bundesliga, where we know Bayern Munich just every year are going to.
I would love to see him in the Bundesliga, to be honest, because it just means he's not going to be playing against us anytime soon.
I wouldn't like it. I would like to see him in La Liga. I would like to see him like real challenge, like to win the league, Madrid or Barca up against some good teams. But in the Bundesliga, they've won it 10 years in a row. It's like, who cares if he wins the Bundesliga?
Yeah.
Unless he wins the Champions League, then that's impressive. But like,
But to be fair, Dortmund are coming on strong at the moment. They nearly won the league and they took it to the last day. So, look, to be honest, for me, I don't care where he goes. I really don't care where he goes, as long as it's not in England. That's for me. I don't really care like which country he goes to, as long as he's not playing against us next season, and he's not going to be banging in the goals against us in the Premier League, and we have to literally watch him week in, week out, smash it. Then I don't really mind.
Yeah. Look, I'd rather him go to Bayern than stay in the Premier League, that's for sure. So I guess that's a plus. And he'll go and win some trophies, and maybe in a couple of years, he'll come back to Spurs.
What's your gut telling you? Do you think this is going to happen? Because your gut told you he was going to go Real Madrid.
Yeah, but that's when Madrid were in for him. They pulled out. I didn't know. You can't predict everything. If Bayern stump up the money, he'll go. I think it's all about whether Bayern can deal with Levy. Now, can Bayern deal with Levy? I have my doubts, to be honest. I don't know if they will. Because I think Bayern, I don't know. I really don't know if they're going to actually spend the money required on a 30-year-old with 1 year left. I just don't know if they're going to do it. I think we might price them out of the move unless Kane really forces it. In my opinion, I think Kane's going to have to do what he did a couple of years ago and really try and force.
Probably take it further.
He's going to have to try and force it if he really wants it, in my opinion, to drive the price down. Otherwise, I don't think Bayern are actually going to reach the price. If they're going to stay well below the 100 million mark, I guess it depends whether that means with add-ons or without add-ons. Depends what that means, I guess.
But what is well below the mark? Because there's probably wiggle room for what they've offered already, which is 70 million euros. We're talking about 100 million euros. I mean,
£100 million, I think.
No, it was 100 million euros. They're saying that's what Christian Falk is saying anyway.
I don't like Christian Falk. He's never right.
But look, if they get to close to the 100 million euros mark, I think we'll consider that.
What,
I think
with add-ons or what?
With add-ons, I think we'd be silly not to consider that. I think we're silly not to consider what we're getting at the moment. Even though I wouldn't accept.
No, I don't think I would.
I wouldn't accept what we've got at the moment. But I think that anything close to 90 to 100 million euros, I think we should take it.
If we can get to 100 millions, including add-ons, then yeah, take it. But if not, then unless Kane forces it, I don't think they'll do the deal.
But do you not think it's better to even get, let's say, 80 million euros than getting nothing and potentially him going to a rival?
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they wouldn't consider like the fees that they're looking at now.
They want to keep him. At the end of the day, they want to convince him to stay.
Yeah.
So
it's a very dangerous game, isn't it?
It's a very dangerous game, but it's one where you're talking about potentially our best ever player, or a legend of the club, and is it a risk worth taking? Unless you're getting the figure that you want, potentially. It's a difficult one. It's a very difficult one. I personally. Unless you're getting 100 million, whether that's including add-ons or whatever, I think stick to your guns. I think you should be getting that kind of fee for him. He's that good a player, and I think he's got time on his side as well. But if you're Bayern Munich, I can understand if they don't want to go that far.
Yeah, well, it looks like, who else are they going to get to that similar level? There's no one that they can get.
No one,
but
they could get someone like Mawani.
Yeah, but even that, it's a long way off Harry Kane.
Yeah, but he's younger. He's look, Kane's one of the best, if not the best striker in Europe.
That's what I'm saying.
So obviously, but he's 30. That's the truth. He is 30.
He is 30, but again, like he's got longevity still.
In my opinion, yeah, but they might not see it like that. I would see it like that.
Like they've had Lewandowski, who was at the top of his game till what age? 35, 36, something like that.
Yeah, I think he left Bayern at like 34.
34, and he was still like top goal scorer in the Bundesliga when he left. So I mean, I don't know. I think
they signed him on a free.
Yeah, I know, but I think if Bayern really want him, I think they'll go up to the figure that, or very close to the figure that Levy wants.
Do you reckon any chance we'd go for a play in return?
From Bayern? Yeah, well, probably end up with Choupo-Moting or something.
Choupo-Moting, that'd be like a Fraser Campbell kind of deal. To be fair, he's actually scoring a lot at the moment, but still, I wouldn't want him.
But not in the English league, I don't think he would. I don't know. Who would you take?
Wingers?
I would take like Leroy Sané or someone like that, but I just can't see someone like that happening.
Musiala?
Mate. If we could get a straight swap with Musiala, I'll do that right now, but that is no chance of happening at all. Literally.
Hey, one can dream.
Yeah, one can dream.
Upamecano, anything? Add him in?
Well, to be
He's not fancied
fair,
at Bayern,
they
though.
just signed a big centre-back, didn't they? Bayern? Who did they just sign? They just signed a big centre-back.
Can't remember.
So
Off the top of my head.
I can't remember who it is, but they've got De Ligt, they got Upamecano, they got Pavard, they got...
Pavard's leaving, apparently.
I'll take Pavard.
I think he's... Yeah. Wouldn't mind him. Have they signed it? I don't know if they signed. I'll try and see. Can't see anyone. 90% sure. Anyway.
I can't remember who they were linked to, but they were very closely linked with someone. I'm not sure if they signed him or not. I can't even remember who the player was.
Gravenbach is unsettled at the moment.
I'll take him in a heartbeat. Gravenbach.
He
Give
said
us-
he wants to play.
Give us Gravenbach and Pavard for Harry Kane. I'll take that with no money.
No money.
Yeah.
Gravenbach and Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I think...
No, Gravenbach and Pavard for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Would you not? I think that's two quality players coming in, and Gravenbach is a really good age. Pavard is what, in his late 20s?
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great deal for us.
I think it would be... I think maybe add a tiny bit, like 10 million on top.
I don't even think so. Like, what's Gravenbach worth in this current market? 60 million?
Transfer market says he's worth 18.5. It's dropped.
Yeah, but that's not how much he's actually worth. Like, he's a young player. He had one bad season under Bayern because he didn't play too much.
Okay.
I think he's got a big value, Gravenberch. And Pavard's probably what? Market value with a big contract's probably about 40 million. So you're looking about a 90 to 100 million value of those two players.
Yeah, maybe that's a good deal. If they're both unsettled, come to Spurs. Don't know if we can convince them to.
Yeah, that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different ball game. But look, that's the news on Harry Kane. Make of it what you will. Let us know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on the Harry Kane situation. And let's finish off on some more positive news, or some positive news for today. And that is our goalkeeper, Vicario Romano, has confirmed that the second part of his medical has been completed. Documents have been signed, and he's set to be unveiled as a Tottenham player very soon. Not sure if that's going to come this evening or tomorrow, but we'll be here to cover that for you.
100%. And I'm happy about it. I do think they're going with the cheaper option. I don't think this, obviously it wasn't the first choice.
Some say it's the smarter option.
Yeah, so that's what they will say. That's what Spurs were going to put out. It's a smart option. I am kind of happy that they're not being held to ransom over Raya, and they moved on very quickly and just went with the second option. And it sounds like it's quite a data-driven approach. However, he at 26 years of age, he hasn't actually played at the top level Serie A for that long. He's only kind of had a couple of seasons. But yes, he's been brilliant last season. I've looked into it, and apparently he was one of the best keepers in Serie A last season, and he actually is quite good with the ball at his feet, and he's been improving that aspect. And in terms of shot stopping, he's incredible, or he was last season. But it's still like, I guess at 17 million, it's not much of a risk because it's quite low. But I don't know. I just feel like there's something about it that does make me a bit worried, just because I've seen keepers before have like a good season and then not actually be that good overall. Like I remember like Mignolet had like an amazing season at Sunderland. He was like saving everything, and then he signed for Liverpool and he was rubbish. Galini. Like I remember everyone was going on about how Galini is going to challenge Lloris, and he was brilliant for Atalanta, and then he turned out to be absolute rubbish when he came to us. Now I'm not to say Vicario's in that situation. I'm sure that I'm hoping that he's a lot better than that, but I don't know if I don't know if this isn't a keeper. I'm trying to say this isn't a keeper that's been like amazing for an extent, like a lot of many years, and he's like finally getting his big move. This is a keeper who's kind of come out of nowhere to have a really good season for Empoli. And he is making moves. He's got caps for Italy now, and people are talking about him. But does that mean that this is the guy we should be putting our eggs in the basket? I don't know, but I do like the look of him.
What about this scenario? Vicario doesn't really work this year. He's all right keeper. We ship Fraser Forster out next summer and get David Raya on a free next summer.
And Raya's not staying on a free. He's going to go this window.
Where's he going to go?
He'll go somewhere. Apparently, he might go United now because De Gea.
I thought Onana's going to United.
No, there's nothing concrete about anything. So he could go anywhere. Like there's a lot of places he could go.
All right, but let's say just for argument's sake, he doesn't end up going anywhere.
then yeah, that's a good situation.
What a turn of events that would be. Imagine getting David Raya on a free next summer. But nah, I think Vicario, look, let's just hope that it does work out, and he showed the form last season and follows that into the Tottenham. But look, everyone wanted the data approach and everything like that, and the Brighton and Brentford thing about signing these players that not many people have heard of, and that's what we're doing with the Vicario. So you got to rate it.
I mean, yes, but clearly he wasn't our first choice.
Yeah.
So our first choice, and our first choice in Raya was also based on data, wasn't it? You could see he matched all the metrics we were looking for, and he was the one we really wanted. But he was a bit too. We've decided he's a bit too expensive, so we've gone with we've gone with somebody who's half the price. Now, yes, in terms of metrics and data, he looks decent. I don't think he looks as good as Raya, to be honest, but he looks good. But he hasn't been doing it for as long and in as good a team. But look, I'm not saying he's rubbish or he's going to turn out to be bad. It's just a bit of a risk. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I completely agree. To be honest, I think I'll be lying if I sat here and said that I would prefer Vicario over David Raya. I would be. But the fact of the matter is, this is the guy we've gone for. So now we just have to show him our utmost support, and hopefully he can transfer that form he did show last year in Serie A into the Premier League this year.
And also keep a watch on the channel, because we're going to be uploading a video showing off Vicario's ball-playing ability, because we've made a video of every single pass that he's made last season for Empoli. So if you want to check that out, keep your eyes peeled on the channel. All
right, so there you have it. That is our Tottenham update for today. Let me know your thoughts on the Harry Kane situation, and let us know your thoughts on Vicario as well. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.